Welcome indoor cycling fans for stage 7 on the Ride Without Borders Spring League. Today's stage is 27 kilometers, rather hilly stage and almost entirely on gravel. And now watching Peters while Beauchamp from Canada is in the front. After 1.3 kilometers the gravel section started. That's why we see a lot of mountain bikes and gravel bikes. Now watching Bastian Seyfarth in support for Peters today. While on the left you see the general classification with Peters doing well. He's in first. Switching over to the second support for Peters, it's Keulemans. We also received news that Wells is most likely not going to race this league anymore. The starting time in Australia is way too early. And it's a pity because he was a great contender. Luckily Edmondson, Zwift and Davies are still in the league. Team AHDR setting the pace up front, trying to drop some riders. Just moving up to the front as well. Keulemans has to close a small gap. Two Team Cone riders in his wheel, Guignard and Zwift. Keulemans pushing on in the front, trying to drop some more riders. He's doing well, you can see it there in the back. A lot of riders are struggling already. No big inclines today, but like I said, hilly stage, so almost constant attacks. Bastian Seyfarth was one of the riders being dropped. Now taking the wheel of Guilfoyle with Curtis right in front of them. Ride Without Borders teammates. Now AHDR pushing on in the front. Guignard trying to close the gap. For the easy side of things, let's call this rider a cheesecake. He's pushing on for Team AHDR. He's really setting the pace. It looks like no riders are being dropped. The second group with Sierra and Reynolds, also a farmer, and of course Bastian Seyfarth. Also a Belgian rider Greer in this group. Reynolds didn't survive those first few attacks. It's in the top 10 on the league. It was definitely a strategy from Team HDR. Now Cheesecake in the back. Davy's trying to bring his teammate back. Of course, he has to stay up front as well. Now we're zooming in on Geronimo Kremers. He's back after 2 weeks being sick with COVID-19. Most likely still on the recovery. But good news to see that he's back. Over to Ffwd once again, using his aero helmet to be part of the group. And now Kremers has to let the first group go. And here they are. Almost at the bridge. I think more or less 18 riders up front. Looks like no one is being dropped on the bridge. Biggest incline of the day. And here's Ffwd at the top. In 26th position there's a Goat. 28 is Brusgaard. Palander from Sweden. Switching over to the first group once again. So still 4 AHDR riders, 3 from Team Cone, 3 Right Without Borders teammates as well. For sure we're going to see some more team tactics, I guess. Here's Gullemans, pushing on for his team leader. Gullemans still doing well in the front of the race. Really pushing on, trying to drop a few riders. Guignard trying to take the wheel of Peters. Closing in. Great effort from Gullemans. Really working hard for Peters today. After 17.2 kilometers, it was Team Cone sending out one rider in front. It's Guignard from Switzerland. The group trying to close in. We've seen attacks from HDR, Team Cone, and our team Fast Forward today. Like I said, a lot of team strategy going on. After 18.5 kilometers, Gullemans still at the front of the race. 3 kilometers left to go, and here's Keulemans using his feather power up, moving up to the front once again. Another great push. Excellent race from Keulemans today. Is this the last effort from Keulemans? Juretsky trying to close in, followed by Bressington. Keulemans has to leave a gap. I think it's over for him, but great job. And here's Peters. So it was definitely a planned attack from Keulemans, and now Peters is on the attack. Zwak is trying to close in. Peters pushing hard. Time gap 6-7 seconds. With Van Kuppenveld and Zwak 3 seconds behind. Now Van Kuppenveld pushing on, trying to close the gap. For sure, Peters is doing a lot of damage with his attack. Great effort from him. Now Van Kuppenveld and Zwak closing in. The top right hand corner, you can see that a few riders are being dropped. Now watching Edmondson. They're now closing in on the 3 riders up front. But, definitely a great attack from Peters. The riders are at the bridge for the second time. So now 10 riders in the first group. Only 38 riders on today's race. And here's Keulemans, the man who did a lot of work for his team leader. Now Bastian Seyfarth with Farmer and Curtis. Still 2.5 kilometers left to go. Now Peters with another attack, it seems. Almost 10 watts. Zwift and Van Kuppenveld reacting almost instantly. Now Van Kuppenveld taking over. Switching over to Van Kuppenveld. Great effort from him. Now Peters has to leave a gap. Two riders struggling. Now 5 riders struggling in the back. Guignard from Team Cone and Davies trying to hold on. Looks like Van Kuppenveld eases off on the pedals. So still everyone together. After 25.4 kilometers, we have 3 Team HDR riders up front. There's a Cheesecake and O'Sullivan. Turner. Here's Keulemans. Belgian rider Greer, 24 seconds behind on Keulemans. Here's the group with Guilfoyle, Kremers and Marshall. Here's the group with Bastian Seifert, together with Curtis Farmer, Reynolds. Now switching over back to the front was Guignard, now taken over by Zwift. Sprint has definitely started. Williams in second, Edmondson in third. I think Peters coming in 5th place. Here's Keulemans at the finish line. Another Belgian rider, Greer, finishing in 16th place. He's now entering the top 10 on the general classification. So congratulations. Switching over to Kremers, and it's Kremers with a push. Really strong sprint, leaving Guilfoyle and Marshall behind. Switching over to Curtis, sprinting hard as well. Here he is, almost at the finish line. And now Bastian Seifert in a 23rd position. And here's the overall ranking after 7 stages. And at the top of the leaderboard from the team, Peters, followed by Zwift, Edmondson, Wells, and in 5th there's Davies. And like I said, Greer entering the top 10. So I really hope you enjoyed this stage, guys. Hope to see you all again for stage 8. And if you like what we do, maybe subscribe to the channel and see you next time. Ride on!